I'm Tim Morrison for Time, and this is 10 Questions with Al Roker.
Hey,
Thank you
Tim.
for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, in addition to being the weather anchor for the Today Show on NBC and the host of Wake Up with Al on the Weather Channel, you've found time to write a book,
Yes.
The Morning Show Murders. And our first reader wants to know what inspired you to write a mystery novel?
I have always loved mysteries. From when I was 7 years old, got the Hardy Boys, the House on the Cliff. And then I graduated to Sherlock Holmes and Edgar Allan Poe, and it just continued. So, in the back of my mind, I always thought someday I'd love to write a murder mystery.
But it's based on a morning TV show.
Based on a morning TV
in New
show.
York, so it's kind of right what you know.
And the chef is African American, a little on the stocky side, and bald. So, which pretty much cuts out Will Smith or Jamie Foxx playing me in the movie.
Is there someone on the Today Show you want to murder? Is this?
I do not want to murder anybody that I am currently working with. So no, the great thing is I love the folks I work with, and in the book the executive producer gets it. I do not want to kill my executive producer, even if he continually cuts me on time, and takes the best donuts before the show. I do not want to kill him.
Terry Reeves, who lives in Metropolis, Illinois, writes, "You
Metropolis?
seem like Metropolis."
Wait a minute. Her last name is Reeves, and she lives in Metropolis? Wow.
And she's a big fan. She says you seem like I'm assuming it's a she, could be a guy.
Could be a guy.
You seem like a sincerely friendly, easygoing guy. What ticks you off?
The same things that everybody gets ticked off about. Rude behavior, things not working right. Just the normal everyday stuff. I'm always kind of amused when people say, you never seem to get upset. I don't know. I call it a hunch, but I think the grumpy weatherman isn't something that's going to really play very well. It's kind of like the character on what is it, Family Guy. Ollie Williams in the Blackie weather forecast. Gonna rain. It's good for 3 seconds, and after that, it gets tired, I think.
Well, what's the best thing about being a weatherman? And this is a question for you from the Philippines, actually.
From the Philippines, where they have typhoons. The best thing about your job, you've got job security because there's always weather. Unless you live in a dome, and at that point you've got other problems. The weather's always changing, so every day it's different. Every day there's something to talk about.
This is a question from John Durant in Duvall, Washington. What aspects of meteorology interest you the most?
The ones I don't understand, which is most of them. No, I love clouds. I love looking at clouds. I mean, they're just, especially when you're in the air, and you look at them, and they're just the different formations and the color gradations, and you can look at, to me, you can look at them endlessly.
We had a question from Margaret Gill Martin in Ossining, New York.
Sing Sing,
you mentioned
the big house of many doors.
She doesn't specify, actually.
We don't know that she's in the prison.
Don't know that she's in the prison.
Okay.
But she's,
I'm sure you're not.
She wanted to ask about your childhood in Queens.
Yes.
Right? And do you feel that your family and community helped contribute to your success?
Oh, sure.
And if so, how?
Yeah, I think especially back in the the 60s. Everybody knew everybody. And if you were an odd child, as I was, you weren't ostracized. They would, little Al, and then I'd walk away, and they go. But they were, everybody supported everybody else. So, and I am really thankful that I grew up, that I had this, lower middle income background, because. I think it makes you hungry. My motivation was, I was never going to share a bedroom with a sibling again. And if I wanted a second or third scoop of ice cream, by God, I'm going to get it. And I'm not, if I want to leave something on the plate, I'm not going to hear about hungry kids in China or Africa again. And I don't know, what motivates today's generation of kids. Yeah, but that said, I wouldn't trade my childhood for the world. My mother reminded me that this was a few years ago, that I was fascinated by television from a very early age, to the point where I would describe television shows that were filmed as shows that were wet, and shows that were live or on videotape as shows that were dry. When I was 10 years old, I figured out how to get the back of the TV off, connect wires to the leads of the speakers, and ran them into a 3M woolen sack reel-to-reel tape recorder that my dad had bought from the depot. And I would record the audio of TV shows and create my own shows. So I would splice Batman and Superman together, and I bring this is before the days of really portable, so it was like a 50-pound tape recorder. So I'd bring it up from the basement and go, Mom, listen to this. I put together Batman and Superman. And I could see, now I look back and I could see fear in her eyes. You know, just thinking, oh my God, this child will be 50 years old and living with us.
Now, in terms of celebrity, and we did have several questions from this on this from the readers, the Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag interview,
Yes.
And the ensuing Twitter events. Spencer Pratt's now apologized, I think, for the things he said. How did you feel while all this was going on?
Don't care.
Don't care.
Not really. I mean, look, here's the thing. In all seriousness, I've got my health. I've got a beautiful family. I've got a great job, and I wish that for everybody. You know, and I hope that the aforementioned couple find their happiness and find what they're looking for, because they're obviously looking for something.